I have decided that you, the X-Men, known as Cyclops, shall be group leader until I return. Quote, Professor X. X-Men, Volume 1, Issue 7, The Return of the Blob. Professor Xavier takes a photograph of his students during their graduation. Afterwards, he informs them that they must continue their fight against evil mutants without him while he takes care of some unfinished business. He tells his students that he will select a new leader from amongst them soon. Across town at another mansion, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutant regroups. Mastermind and the Scarlet Witch are the first to arrive. Mastermind offers the Scarlet Witch a life of luxury, but she refuses since she cannot stand him. Magneto screamed at Mastermind, "How dare you!" and angrily threw a metal pot at him. Demanding blind obedience, Magneto insisted on loyalty. Quicksilver, hearing the commotion, rushed in and asked Wanda if she was okay. She assured him, saying, "Yes, my brother, don't worry. I shall worry as long as we must serve Magneto, but hear this, evil ones. If any of you harm ever comes to my sister, you shall all answer to Quicksilver. I have pledged that none shall be harmed so long as they obey me implicitly. And now enough of the charade. There is work to be done. Remember, before we can find a way to conquer and rule the inferior humans who inhabit our planet, we must first defeat their self-styled protectors, the accursed X-Men, and I have devised a new plan to destroy them." Ha! I knew you would strike back again, Master Magneto. Fears nothing. Silence, Toad. Keep your cackling comments to yourself till I am done. Back at the school, Professor Xavier asks Cyclops to accompany him to a previous off-limits section of the school. There he shows Cyclops his invention, Cerebro, which is used to detect mutant brainwave activity. Cyclops wonders why a telepath such as Professor Xavier would need such a device, so Professor Xavier informs him that he is intended to be used by the new leader of the X-Men, Cyclops. Cyclops questions his mentor's decision considering Angel's aggressiveness and Beast's intelligence, so Professor Xavier informs him that it is because Cyclops' leadership ability. The next morning, X-Men awaken to learn that Professor Xavier has already departed. They congratulate Scott on becoming their new leader. The group goes to New York City that night to celebrate, but Scott refuses, saying that he has to stay and monitor Cerebro. At a carnival, Magneto seeks out the Blob, suspecting that he is a mutant due to his inability to be moved by an elephant or a cannibal. Magneto tries to perform a mind probe of the Blob, but is stopped by a mental block put on him by Professor Xavier. Suddenly, the Blob's manager appears and tries to fend off Magneto, not wanting him to take his client. Magneto orders the Brotherhood to attack the carnival workers. They all run off, leaving Magneto alone with the Blob. Magneto orders the Blob to join the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. At first, the Blob refuses and attacks Magneto. Magneto then magnetically lifts pipes from under the ground, hurling the Blob through the air. The force of impact from landing looses the mental block in his mind, and his memory turns. Wanting revenge against the X-Men, the Blob agrees to join the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. At the mansion, Cerebro's alarm suddenly goes off, alerting Cyclops to the Blob's recent activities. Cyclops tries to contact the rest of the X-Men, successfully reaching Warren. Warren gathers Hank and Bobby so they can meet back up with Scott and Jean. Magneto challenges the X-Men to a fight at an abandoned factory. The amazing teenagers reach their headquarters. Cyclops declared urgently, "Get into your costumes quickly." He warned that the Blob had regained his memory and anything could happen now. With no time for talk, Cyclops ordered, "Let's move." The X-Men swiftly prepare for battle. Magneto sent a message to the X-Men declaring, "I intend to put the entire city under my control. I challenge you to stop me." Cyclops urgently commanded, "Move it, all of you. Magneto's contacting us. This is it." A short time later, the Blob announced, "They've come. It's the X-Men's helicopter. I'll crush the fools like fleas." Meanwhile, Magneto was setting a trap for the X-Men. As the X-Men spotted the Blob, Cyclops sensed something was up and cautioned the team. They're waiting for a trap. Magneto's patience wore thin, and he uses magnetic powers to rip apart the X-Men's helicopter. As the X-Men fell to the ground, Iceman quickly created an ice sled for most of the team to descend safely. The Angel, seeing the others were okay, decided to grab a falling rotor blade and exclaimed, "Now that the others are okay, I'll just grab the falling rotor blade and wrap it around the Blob's ugly head. Stay where you are, diapers. I'll be right with you." The powerful blade snapped to shreds at the first impact against the Blob's uncanny flesh. The Blob taunted, "A lot of good that a piece of tin will do you. You're fighting the Blob now, the one enemy you can't ever beat." Pushing the Angel to the ground, the Blob remarked, "Sure, you had Professor X's brain to help you before, but now he isn't here. Once I get my hands on something, nothing can pry them loose." The Beast drop kicked the Blob and remarked, "Are you aware that you talk almost as much as I do, although your vocabulary is neither as varied nor as erudite. Despite the comment, the Blob quickly subdued both the Beast and the Angel. Marvel Girl rushed to the aid of the X-Men. Marvel Girl tried to lift the Blob off the ground using her telekinesis, but the Blob scoffed, saying, "Not even the weak attempt of the Marvel Girl can stop me." Marvel Girl realized the futility, thinking, "It's useless. His feet stick to the ground, pulling it up with him. I can't raise him any higher," and fell to the ground. Cyclops intervened, telling her, "Jean, you should have strained yourself against impossible odds like that. Leave him to me. Not only my power beam can beat him." Iceman commented, "Boy, you've got one qualification for group leader, Scotty. You sure got confidence." But at that very instant, the evil Magneto chose to launch his previously prepared attack. Magneto declared, "Everything is perfect. They've been decoyed into the right position. Now I'll magnetically release my waiting torpedoes." The missiles shoot out and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants followed Magneto for the impending attack. Iceman urgently informed Cyclops, "Cyclops, they've launched torpedoes at us. Quick, you've got to destroy them with your laser beam." Cyclops responded, "I can't, Bobby. If my beam hits them, they'll detonate, finishing us all. That's only one thing to do." Iceman swiftly created a tunnel for one of the rockets to shoot upwards, and for another rocket, he molded it into two donuts to land safely. However, behind Iceman, two more rockets approached. Moving with the speed of thought, the dynamic Cyclops blasted a hole under Iceman's feet, creating a safe space for Bobby to drop below the path of the deadly missile. As Iceman fell inside Cyclops' hole, Magneto acknowledged, "They're too fast, too clever for my torpedoes, but if I can get them within reach of you, Blob." The Blob quickly seized the Beast and from behind grabbed the Angel. But unlike the Blob, the quick-thinking Beast switched to relying on agility as well as his strengths. The Beast took mud from the ground and threw it right into the eyes of the Blob. As the Angel and the Beast make their escape, the Blob exclaimed, "What? Can't see. Got to get the mud out of my eyes." Instead of racing out of the reach of the Blob, the Beast made an unexpected move. While his gargantuan opponent was still off balance, the Beast explained, "Eureka, I thought this maneuver would succeed," and drop-kicked the Blob again. Magneto, observing, commented, "Blasted luck, those X-Men never seem to know when they're beaten. I'll shield myself from the Angel with the flying torpedo barrier." The Angel retorted, "Nice try, Magneto. This maneuver might stop an ordinary flying form of yours, but don't forget that the Angel has been trained to dodge targets much faster than these." Magneto criticized, "Careless fool, you flew too low. Get him, Quicksilver." In an instant, Quicksilver swiftly hit the Angel. Marvel Girl commented, "Quicksilver is so fast that none of us can stop him." Cyclops responded, "Perhaps, but I can certainly keep him on the run with my bolts from my power beam." As Cyclops shot bolts, Quicksilver swiftly maneuvered out of the way. Marvel Girl acted swiftly, picking up Quicksilver in her telekinesis power and spinning him around. However, the Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver's sister, declared, "My brother's trapped. I've got to free him with my hex power." Magneto intervened, cautioning, You little fool. Don't distract them. I want them gathered in one group like that." But Magneto commanded, comes too late. Struck by the Scarlet Witch hex power, the Beast and Cyclops cannot stop themselves from colliding into each other. Quicksilver exclaims, "Oof, I'm free. Nothing will ever catch me now." Meanwhile, the daring Iceman, attempting his own strategy to restrain the power of the Blob, sees the lightning-swift Quicksilver approaching. Iceman creates an ice cube to hold the Blob, and now they look to stop Quicksilver. But Quicksilver is so unimaginably swift that even all the combined efforts of the X-Men are not enough to capture the speeding mutant. The Scarlet Witch praises her brother, saying, "Well done, Pedro. I know they could not catch you, my beloved brother." However, Cyclops has fallen behind. Now that the battle line is drawn with both teams together in a body, just as Magneto's mutants are, it's the final attack. Beast suggests, "Just say the word, Cyclops. We'll make them think water polo was a social tea party." Before another move can be made, the gargantuan Blob expands his enormous bulk until the block of ice confined him shatters with a defining roar. The Blob breaks out of the ice and declares, "You have used every power you possess against me and failed. Now it's my turn. But this one difference, the Blob shall not fail." Cyclops urgently interjects, "Wait, don't make me blast you with my power beam. Stop. We've no reason to fight. Why should you serve Magneto? He's only using you." The Blob, however, comes closer and closer to the X-Men. Magneto says, "At last, they're all in one group. Now my torpedoes can finish them all." Mastermind points out, "But the Blob, he's there with them too." Magneto dismisses this, stating, "That's his hard luck. He served his perfect purpose." However, the Brotherhood of Mutants disagree with Magneto, reluctantly to send their torpedoes right after their so-called friend, the Blob. The X-Men seize the moment and get behind the Blob, who explains, "Magneto, no, don't." The X-Men hide behind the bulky villain and let him take the full force of the missiles. Magneto orders the rest of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants to retreat, seeing that his plans have failed. Professor X was not with them today, they're not even mentally, else I would have sensed his brainwaves. That means the X-Men fight alone now, therefore I shall plan my strategy differently for our next battle. Cyclops, they're getting away. Not this time, I'll blast them to the ground. Wait, the Scarlet Witch, she's aboard also. You're right, and her brother Quicksilver. Somehow I can't bring myself to believe that they are as evil as the others. Well, Pudgy, it looks like as if your pals ran off on you, eh? Pals, the Blob has no pals. I realize that now. Why don't you join us? We've no need to be enemies. You could receive an X-Men training and perhaps in time qualify. No, I'm through with mutants. With fighting other people's fights. I'll never trust anyone. I seem to remember something the professor once said long ago. There are good mutants and bad mutants, and there are also some who hate being mutants, some who turn away from the great responsibility their power imposes upon them. I have no hate left in me. I'm just wary. I'm going back to the only place where I belong, to the carny. I've lived a sideshow freak, and that's how I'll die. Ridiculous as it may seem, I'm almost finding myself pitying the tragic human behemoth. I sure hope he's never changing his mind. I wouldn't want to have to fight him again. Scratch one whirly bird, X-Men. This wreckage is beyond repair. Well, I guess we'll have to phone for a taxi. Uh-oh, I haven't any change in my pockets. In fact, no pockets. No sure thing we're gonna feel like nuts walking home through the streets like this. Have no fear, Angel's here. I'll fly ahead and hail a taxi for us. While you're at it, bar the fare your group leaders broke. And so another X-Men adventure becomes history. Notes: Cyclops is named leader of the X-Men in Professor X's absence. The Blob makes his second appearance and joins the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants for the first time. References to X-Men number 3. The issue marks the original X-Men's graduation from school and the first appearance of Cerebro. Professor X claims he channeled the talent which his X-Men already had in a correct direction. He does not claim credit for creating their talent. During the graduation festivities, B suggests sending a group photo to Magneto. As a reminder, they are always thinking about him. Professor X has prepared diplomas for the X-Men, asserting that they completed their normal prep school curriculum. Cyclops expresses interest in finding a medical cure for his powers. First mention of a mutant cure. Next issue, X-Men Volume 1, Issue 8, The Uncanny Threat of Eunice, the Untouchable.